And we're back to learning Gimp in a year, day 44. And let me show you the next way to cut out a model. As I've promised, we're going to go back to our last image where we've used the foreground select, and I've told you there is an easier way, or at least a better way. Let me show you this on a new example first. Here we have good contrast between background and foreground. And if you've forgotten, I zoom out using Shift-Control-J. That fits the image to window. To use the method, we copy the original and then we go to colors. And there is something called color to alpha. And this converts a specific color to transparency. And it actually says so. It works best on white. You can see, in principle, you could pick any color here, even the black color, to get rid of the model instead of the background. Let's pick white in this example. And then all you have to do is to adjust the threshold for transparency and opacity. And I can't give you specific values. Just try it out and make sure the preview is checked in this menu. And then you can see in real time what it filters out and leaves in. And depending on how good contrast is between background and foreground, you're going to get clean results, even for something like this, where it's very complex to select due to the hair. You can see that here. And we're still going to get a little bit of a halo. That's just what it is. We have to live with that in some cases. But for a quick, what was it, like 10-second result, it is a good cutout of the model. But we've also lost a little bit in the face. So the teeth, for example, they get almost erased fully. To handle that, we copy the original. Put it to the top. Give it a layer mask, make it fully black. And then we paint over it using a paintbrush. And a white foreground color. And this brings back these areas. Just be careful not to paint too far, or you're going to bring back the background. But there you go. Even for complex outlines, this is not a bad result. Certainly worth a try. So once again, under colors, color to alpha. And then let's go back to our last example. And here the contrast isn't that high. And you will see that directly when I use color to alpha. First I copy the original. And instead of using white or trying to pick a color, I'm going to use this color sampler. So I can left click on it and then sample color from the image. To do that properly, turn off the preview for now, then pick the background color that's most prominent, recheck preview, and then play around with both of these sliders for threshold. And you can see you will not be able to filter it all out before too much of the model gets lost, but right here, we have kind of like a good balance. And if you've watched the video that I've published yesterday using the foreground select, you've seen that we had to clean up the edges anyway, even with that tool. So this is something that we need to do with color to alpha now as well. But I would say we have a better basis right here, where we don't have to clean up that much. You just have to bring back a couple of things in the model. I've shown you that already. You just copy the original, put it to the top, give it a layer mask fully black, and then you paint on the layer mask with the white color and the paintbrush. Adjust the size. Depending on the details in the image. This can take a while. For example, here on the sweater, there are some small little things that it erased as well. But once more, you had to do that anyway using foreground select because there wasn't that much contrast between the model and the background. And here we have to do it too, but we don't have to do all of the stuff that we did last time beforehand. And once more, I think the edges are a little bit cleaner and there's not that much that we have to adjust. Let me just quickly go over this entirely. It's always a mix between black and white as a foreground color. I use X, which is the short key for switching quickly. I press the space bar to move around on the image, and for zooming I hold Control and then I use my mouse wheel. And once I've basically hit the limit here, there are also some fragments on our cutout, which is called just original copy in the layers menu. So here I also add a layer mask, but this time I make it fully white. And when I paint on that, I paint with the black color to get rid of certain parts that the color to alpha has missed. So the color to alpha can get rid of too much stuff. Then you have to copy the original, make it a black layer mask and paint with white on it, but it can also miss parts, especially on the background. And in this case, you have to go back, so in our case to the original copy layer, and give it a white layer mask and then paint on it black. Again, I'm gonna go over this now. If this is nothing new to you, you can fast forward. So now I've cleaned up most of the edges. It's a good idea to add a background. I'll make it high contrast, fully black, and I'll make sure that it's below both of my layers that are visible. and then I have to clean up a couple of these edges. And sometimes I don't know if it's on the original copy or original copy number 1 layer. Just simply switch back and forth between them, and then you will quickly find out where the fragments are. But there you go. If we compare that to the example, the result that we had in the last video, this is way better. I would also say it was way quicker to create it. So this is my preferred method, color to alpha. Let's go back to the other example that we have here, and I also give it a background. And you can see one effect that I've a couple of times mentioned, which is called a halo. Depending on the contrast, you will see that very clearly. For example, here if I use a black background, you cannot really get away with it anymore. If that happens, just make sure that you increase the color to alpha beforehand. So when you create this cutout, you have to simply delete a little bit more and then bring back more inside of the model using the layer mask method. But if I make this background, for example, white, you can see we could get easily away with the halo. So always keep in mind where you want to use your cutout. This kind of determines how much time you have to invest to clean up these little details. As always, you will find links to the photos used in the video description if you want to try using the same examples. And I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.